Hello everyone and welcome back to another Pyrotech video. My name's Jay and today we're looking at headphones, or these headphones to be exact. These are the Gerrard Street Boss, a company that I became aware of just a couple of weeks ago after seeing an Instagram advert of all things. But what are they? Essentially what they are, in their own words, the Spotify of headphones. So to anyone that hasn't been around for the last couple of years, and welcome back for those that have just rejoined us, subscription boxes are pretty much everywhere. Now, when I first got into subscription boxes 5-6 years ago, you're pretty limited to basically things like Loot Crate, collectibles. You'd occasionally have like pet food and stuff like that, but generally it was a very kind of condensed market in just kind of nerdier kind of things. But over the last couple of years, there's been a massive explosion. Everything from you can now rent a bike every month, you can get clothing, even bacon. Go figure. But anyway, this is essentially the subscription service for headphones. Now, me personally, I have a very torrid history with headphones. Or should I say, my family has a very torrid history with my headphones, because I'm forever having headphones malfunction and become faulty because somebody's left them lying around, or generally speaking, they've just not really cared much and they've ended up getting broken. And I've spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So much so that generally speaking, I don't spend much money on my headphones at all because of that actual reason. So when I saw this is what actually piqued my interest, because the whole point of this, so the whole point of these headphones is that they're modular. So from every aspect, and you'll see it just in a moment when we actually unbox this, I was really surprised at the size of the box it actually came in, because it was extremely thin, about yay thin. Obviously, you wouldn't expect headphones to be in there. But when we opened up the actual box, you can see that everything was very ergonomically laid out. And it's meant for you to actually put it together. So now this is the wireless version. There are two versions, but we'll touch back on that in a moment. It does come with an actual 3.5mm jack, so it will work if you've run out of battery. So that's always a good thing to have a backup. Charges via USB Type-C. Even the tops, so the tops of these ear pads, talking about modular, each one of these has an actual proprietary USB Type-C that these actually slot into. So if, say, your left-hand side cup breaks, you simply contact the company, let them know what happens, and they'll send you out a replacement. You send this one back to them, and then you just attach it, and away you go. And that's really a cool way of doing it. They're also ecologically responsible, so there is no glue used in this whatsoever. So basically, if you say send this back and it's faulty, all they'll do is they'll fix the actual fault. It'll still be in the same housing. They can reuse that all over again, and they can send it out to the next customer. And so it continues. So essentially, no matter what happens to these, you're never going to be without headphones in more than a couple of days while they actually send the stuff out to you. Now, like I said, the actual company is based in the Netherlands, and these took 4 days to get to me, so I was very impressed at how quickly they shipped over. The wireless headphones cost $9.99 a month, or £100 if you pay for an annual subscription. If it's the wired ones that you prefer, so you don't have to go for the wireless option, it's £7.50 a month, or £70 if you pay a monthly, an annual subscription fee. On the really good headphones, they're high-end headphones. They're apparently created by people that are very passionate about sound. I have no reason not to believe of them. Most of the reviews I have seen of these are actually from the Netherlands, so they don't seem to have penetrated much into the UK market, even though they are very orientated towards that. And I think it's a really good model for the actual subscription service, because I have no problems paying £10 a month or $7.50 a month if I've got peace of mind that if something goes wrong, I'm going to get it actually resolved. And also, headphones are one of the most kind of toss away objects there are. I mean, basically, headphones have become so cheap to a certain degree that if they just start working 9 times out of 10, and I'm guilty of it as well, we just throw them in the bin. So it's good that they're actually taking responsibility of this. Now, obviously, once the Boss goes out to pasture and they get a new model, they will then replace these with the newer model. So much like kind of your mobile phone contract, or if you lease a car or anything like that, you get the opportunity to go up to the higher package once one becomes available, which I think is actually really, really good. There are a few things I'm a little bit and ahhing about. So I love the modular aspect of it. I think the adjustability of the cups, I understand why, because obviously so that you can easily take them off and on. They're on these kind of screws, thumb screws essentially, and then you're able to adjust it up and down. It's all very well and good. They do have a tendency, in the short space that I've used them, it's probably just because I haven't tightened them up real well, that they do actually come loose quite easily. The actual fit wise, so if I just pop them on my head, they actually feel very, very comfortable. They're light. They have enough kind of force to hold them snugly onto your head, so I don't feel like these are going to fall off at all. But what you can have, and I do suffer from this, or used to suffer from this, because I use headphones quite a lot. When I used to use much heavier kind of headphones, you would get kind of fatigue where it's basically sitting on your temples for too long. You can give yourself a headache, and they just become quite uncomfortable for long use. I can honestly say I've worn these for several hours, and they feel very, very comfortable. No signs of fatigue whatsoever. Now, connecting it to your phone is general course. You've got these buttons, and again, it is a bit of a niggle. I wish the buttons, I mean, you can't really see them on there, but, and essentially to a blind bat like myself, they are quite difficult to actually make out what the buttons are for. On one side, you have plus and minus on the volume. The other side, you have the button to answer calls, and it's got the Bluetooth sign on it, but it's basically the power on and off. And if you're actually pairing it to a new device, just press and hold it. Standard affair. So they're very easy to understand. There's no real bells and whistles. They're very basic in their kind of approach of, we want this to be able to be kind of usable by everybody. Connects straight away, had no issues. And again, anyone that's used wired or wireless headphones traditionally knows that sometimes there can be Bluetooth cycling issues that can cause merry hell with pairing, and you usually have to unpair it and forget about it and then repair it again. Battery life is 24 hours, so on a full charge, this will give you 24 hours continuous usage. They do have an offer where basically your first month is free. You pay £5 for shipping, which I think is completely reasonable. So I have £5 for a month's worth of kind of trialing it. I am going to make a kind of update video. I'm going to give you my initial thoughts now, but I am going to do an update video a few weeks down the line just to give you my overall thoughts and whether I'm actually going to continue using it. Because if I'm happy with it, I'm going to pay the £10 a month and just make them my daily driver for headphones. Now, there is a weird situation I came across. So when I first put these on, I got to admit, I like the soundstage. I think it handles general music from whether you're streaming from Apple or wherever very well. Mids and highs are very clear and crisp. The lows could be better. It could be bassier for my taste, but it's a problem that you have with a lot of wireless headphones, to be honest with you, and headphones in general. They add too much synthetic bass and it just makes the whole thing sound terrible, or, which is the better option really, is they just kind of ease back off it and give you a more clear listening experience. It's not for everybody because some people do really like that bassy low end, but for me, it's totally usable. But here was my problem. So I started listening to them and I was like, oh, they sound really clear, but damn, they're not loud at all. I was getting like Sony flashbacks because they're notorious for not telling you that you cannot go higher than what I say so. So usually what you would expect is with your phone, when you're paired by Bluetooth, your phone, essentially, if I press up and down on my phone, on my device, it would then replicate that on the headphones. So I got up to max volume on my phone and it was loud, but it wasn't anywhere near what I would say is the maximum level that you would be. But then I found that what you have to do is then continually cycle up on the volume level, and it adds additional volume that way. And they're bloody loud. They really are. The volume on them is ridiculous. Now, I'm very well known for listening to music, usually at full volume, much to the annoyance of people that I travel on public transport with, and generally anyone within like a 10-foot vicinity of me. And I couldn't listen to these on max volume. So that's a plus. But I think it's a bit weird that you kind of have to go past. You think maximum volume is essentially maximum volume. I'd have preferred if they've just synced it with the phone properly rather than you then having to additionally go up. Because if I go all the way up to maximum and it tells me, it gives you that audible tone, say, look, you've hit your peak. If I then start going down again, it then reduces it on my phone. So there's a bit of a weird option. But anyway, other than that, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think these actually are very stylish. I like the kind of minimalist approach. You've got a bit of branding on top there, which I've got no problems with at all. I like the fact you've got these kind of really nice industrial type G's on each one of the thumb screws, although I kind of, the OCD in me kind of wishes I could pivot them in a way that always meant that they were stooding up, but there's nothing I can do about that. You've got the nice like yellow accents on the outsides as well. I think they look very, very nice, very, very clean. I hate kind of like loud and busy stylistics of headphones, so I'm really glad of this. So overall, I would say initial thoughts are I'm very impressed. I do like the way they sound. I do like the comfort and the feel of them. And I think if it stays like this, I probably will end up keeping them and paying the £10 a month and then hopefully checking out whatever they have new that's coming to market. But what I will do is I will do just a quick follow-up video in a couple of weeks just to let you guys know my impressions and do I continue with this or do I just cancel it and send them back and have basically been able to make content for £5, which I think is pretty good going. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. The next one is going to be the big one. So I am forcing myself. I'm putting it out there right now. I have been semi-putting this off / researching this video for a couple of months now. But the next video that goes out will be the Go XLR versus the Rodecaster Pro. Two enormously important mixers in the streaming / podcasting world that both released kind of tail end of last year, beginning of this year. And I'm pretty much the only person that kind of has or owns both of them from what I've seen because no one else has them. So I thought, why not create a video that literally no one else kind of wants nor thought about making? But, you know, this is what we do here. Anyway, until next time, my name's Jay. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you don't, it's fine. Just give us a thumbs up and let us know what you think. And until next time, I'll see you then.